Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. It's okay. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Tonight, Peach Belt Conference volleyball action. UNC Pembroke taking on USC Aiken. Top team in the Peach Belt in-house, riding a 20-match winning streak. Pleasant good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Alongside Matt Sabatis, I'm Trevor Williams. Glad you could join us tonight for UNC Pembroke volleyball. And Matt, if there's a David and Goliath matchup, this certainly is it.
Well, on paper, you're absolutely right, Trevor. You said it yourself. 20-match win streak for USC Aiken and the Pacers. One of those against University of North Carolina at Pembroke. The Braves have played this team already once. They just have to build off of the mistakes they made in that first match and bring it today.
And we talk about that first meeting, the last time the Braves took on USC Aiken. They hit zeros in the first 2 sets. It was really a match of errors for UNC Pembroke, almost more errors than kills.
Like I said, on paper, it's a rough game. When you watch the video, it was a rough game. The Braves need to learn from their mistakes, readjust. They've had plenty of time to do so against even better teams. Think about the game against the number 24 team in the nation, Wingate, and the Bulldogs. The Braves, they have a tough hill to climb, but they can surely do it.
And one of the players that's really going to lead the attack for USC Aiken is Emily Telon. She's the reigning PBC setter of the year. Telon very good at what she does. It's a big reason the offense can go.
Well, and there's a reason she's the reigning PBC setter of the year. She's great at her job. The Braves are going to have a hill to climb. Not too many times I can say that, but the pregame show is probably a good time to continually bring it up.
And for UNC Pembroke, on their side, a sophomore middle blocker who's absolutely phenomenal. Michaela Elliott leads the team in blocks and kills, second in the conference in blocks percent. They're going to lean on her to stop the attack.
Putting in work a lot with over 4 hours to go prior to this even pregame show. So the Braves really have an experienced player that they can rely on in this game, and hopefully she can put together a good evening.
It'll be interesting to see how these two teams can do tonight. UNC Pembroke trying to turn the upset. It's coming to you next right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
Welcome back to Pembroke, North Carolina. UNC Pembroke up against USC Aiken tonight. The Braves and the Pacers. Trevor Williams and Matt Sabatis with you from inside Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court. Matt, exciting match tonight for these two sides. UNC Pembroke trying to get its first Peach Belt win. USC Aiken just trying to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, you mentioned it in the pregame, a 20-game winning streak for USC Aiken. That's something that they want to continue rolling with, and this should be a good road contest for them, and it should be a good chance at upset for the Braves if they're able to come out swinging. We've seen it plenty of times this season where they get a hot streak to start the first set and they're not able to hold on. If they can get to at least the first set in this one, I think they'll at least be able to take this one to a full 5.
Take a look at the Braves taking the floor right now, and Casey Bell, their senior libero, has 1,015 digs on her Brave career now. The starters for USC Aiken, Kayla Duggan, along with Allie Smith, Alicia Hines, and it's Avery Macklin, Emily Telon, Akane Obwagwu, and Rebecca Martinez is libero. For UNC Pembroke, it's Michaela Elliott, April Tankersley, Bailey Jones, Akia Jones, and Madeline Ashwell, along with Ellie Hicks and Casey Bell, who we just mentioned, libero for the Braves. Matt, the start has got to be important as we look right away at Emily Telon, the player that we highlighted in the Open, the best in service aces per set in the Peach Belt, to serve away the opening serve tonight.
Put your best foot forward.
Braves did not have a good start against USC Aiken their first time around in South Carolina, and the same tonight, opening point to the Pacers. 4-20 on the year for the Braves, 0-8 in Peach Belt play for USC Aiken, receiving votes in the top 25 poll, 20-2, 6-0 in conference action. There's that tough serve from Telon. Jones fires into the net for a second time, and that's troublesome for UNC Pembroke. Akia Jones played well her last couple times out.
She has, and the way she set up with that attempted kill, it looked, she wasn't properly setting her feet on that. Maybe she can get a better look at it. Maybe just needs a better setting.
Just saw head coach Ellen McGill on your screen there, her third season, 15 wins at UNC Pembroke. This time they go to Akia Jones and pick up the points.
There's the better setting. I think she had a better chance to get her feet planted to get a little more vertical and set herself up. You saw in the last one where she went into the net, she wasn't able to get her feet planted.
Akia, junior outside hitter from Knightdale, North Carolina. Ellie Hicks, true freshman with the serve. Telon pokes it up. Trying to put it down was Obago. Double contact against the Braves. This is what USC Aiken was able to feast on the first time around, was just mistakes, really unforced errors by UNC Pembroke.
And you can see the way that they're trying to go with it is that they're trying to stuff one position. They went with 3 blockers on that attempt.
One of the better blocking teams in the conference, the Braves. They're going to need that tonight. Coming in out of the back row, the block able to send away Avery Macklin, and that's that triple block you're talking about, Matt Sabatis.
Exactly. It can either help you or it can either hurt you, because it can stretch your backside a little thinner than usual, but when they're going dead center like that and you got the 3, girls like Michaela Elliott there, they can really put the pedal to the metal.
That was a player we talked about, Michaela Elliott, in the open, the service error. If there is a knock on Elliott, it has been the service errors this year, 26th to go alongside 11 aces.
And we mentioned it during pregame. She was here in the gym 4 or 5 hours prior to pregame practicing with head coach Ellen McGill about her serves.
Indeed. It's by no lack of effort for Michaela Elliott putting in the time. Cross-floor kill for April Tankersley. Set up nicely on the slide. Another young player the Braves are excited about.
And that's another great thing, is that while this team, the Braves, have had a shaky season so far, they've got a lot of young talent girls like April Tankersley. They can really grow well with this team.
Another youngster, Miranda Cada, waiting to get the okay to serve as the officials check in the subs on the far side. Amber Tyndall rejoining the front row. Tad Watson is the head referee. Charlie Yang is the second referee. Joseph Higgins and Manny Specht are the line judges at Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court tonight. Braves with the service ace from Miranda Cada, and you imagine as these freshmen continue to grow up, it's those confidence-building plays in the sets that make the difference.
And that's something Allie Smith didn't have on that play, was confidence. She wasn't able to make a definitive decision on whether that was going out.
Cada is the best service aces for the Braves, and the back row attack, the illegal attack out of the back row for UNC Pembroke, gets them a lead in set number 1.
It's all about that quick start I was mentioning. The Braves didn't go on it, but they're fighting back. Good.
Up by a point in set 1. Through the blockers goes USC Aiken. Somehow Casey Bell keeps it off the floor. Telon sets it back over to the right side. Again over the blockers was Avery Macklin. The Braves into the net.
I do think, though, Casey Bell is getting a little more lifeblood in her after picking up that 1,000th dig just a couple of matches ago. I think she's starting to realize the amount of potential she has for this team, and she's really starting to really lay it all out.
See that USC Aiken bench as Macklin wandered off the floor. Head coach is Glenn Cox in his 10th season, has 197 wins at USC Aiken. Over to Amber Tyndall, caught blockers and the tape. Watch out for the libero Rebecca Martinez. She'll have a ton of digs today. The shot a little too long for USC Aiken.
Braves are really setting themselves up, placing themselves nicely in this set so far. Hopefully it can continue, because this could seem to be very close as it continues.
Natalie Peralt and Julia Forster in for USC Aiken. Anna Hines with the serve for the Braves. A joust up at net is pushed over to Ellie Hicks' side, and that was a freshman against a senior, and the senior won in that battle at top of net.
That's all about strength and experience, and you're absolutely right. Senior against freshman, senior's going to win 9 times out of 10.
Decorated career for Emily Telon as well. Setter of the year and all-conference selection a year ago. The quarterback of this PBC, or this USC Aiken offense, if you will, in the PBC. And April Tankersley with the kill to get the Braves back to even.
Great job tooling a defender on that one. Tankersley able to set herself up, position herself nicely.
Rather, that was for the lead in set 1. First time around, the Braves were just smothered in their opening sets against Aiken. We mentioned hitting 0 in both of those sets. Aiken able to knot it up.
You mentioned Braves hitting 0 in both those sets. Currently, they're hitting 143, so hopefully that can continue as this set continues to roll on, but it seems like the Braves are getting a good piece of momentum to try and go toe-to-toe in set number 1 here.
More encouraging, even they have USC Aiken in the negatives. The cross-floor shot wide, and that's a welcome sign for the Braves, because USC Aiken hit above 300 every set against UNCP.
It's all about a game of numbers in situations like these, and the Braves just seem to be getting a lot more confident contacts.
Those set scores were 25-11, 25-12, and 25-16 the first time around with these two teams. The bump set over for Ellie Hicks. Dugout out back. Telon brings it back over to Smith. Braves send it away.
That's a great duo right there. Michaela Elliott, Amber Tyndall going toe-to-toe up against the offense, and they're just really able to hammer it home.
Great height, 2 6-footers for UNC Pembroke. the second setter in their 6-2 system, Bailey Jones, into serve. Telon brings it again over to Smith. Elliott trying to push it to the back corner and does. Why not dance away into that celebration?
Now you can tell the way she saw that ball coming out of progress. She angled her wrists down, it seems, to definitely arc it up over top the back line. She was really able to place that ball well. A lot of experience in that block.
Very impressive start for UNC Pembroke, nearly even to the side-out percentage with Aiken. Smith goes around the block. Jones with the dig. Casey Bell the bump set for Akia Jones and blasted off at Natalie Peralt for another Braves point.
The Braves front line is just hammering away at these blockers. I don't think there's maybe one full successful block from USC Aiken this set.
It's April Tankersley and Akia Jones early on, 2 kills apiece. Off the blockers go the Pacers. That time it was Akane Obagwu.
Color me shocked, actually. I was wrong. No successful blocks this set for USC Aiken. The Braves are really playing the house properly.
The 4th best hitting percentage in the PBC for Obagwu. Bailey Jones with the long set over to Akia Jones. The Pacers trying to dig it out, but into net. Bit of an overpass. The try was for Kayla Duggan. Braves will take that.
And that was another what could have been a tool on the blockers, but it threw Natalie Peralt off. She wasn't really able to bump that one properly, and it just threw the entire front line out of sync.
So 2 points, the lead for UNC Pembroke. Ellie Hicks with the dig out. Back to Akia Jones on the near side. Set up back over right, tipped over by Macklin, tried the roll shot. Casey Bell, how about the dig out? Tipping the blockers was Ashwell. Duggan with the dig, gets it on back from Telon. Braves set it back up in the pipe for Elliott. The volley goes back and forth. Smith blocked down Elliott and Jones.
4th successful block for the Braves in this set already. Picked up already a quarter or a third of their points in this single set on the block alone. The Braves are really getting it done, but what about Casey Bell with that pancake dig?
That is her specialty. Mentioned 1,015 coming in, make it 1,018 now for Bell. Well done by the setter, Emily Telon. Saw the open space and turned it right over net.
And that's one of the few miscues we've actually seen from the Braves throughout this one.
Braves have been impressive, to say the least, at the start with a 2-point advantage. They're sent in by Allie Smith on the serve. Bailey Jones goes pin to pin over to Madeline Ashwell. The dig for Telon, whistle comes, and the Braves will surrender the point as the ball was called wide over the antenna. So USC Aiken grabs the point. The officials, a little miscommunication pointing to either side. But Pembroke was called out on that play. Natalie Peralt.
And of course, Ellen McGill asking for clarification on this, and understandably so. You would if there is a miscommunication between the officials. She wants to make sure that her team can hold on to what was a 2-point lead.
And they're going to replay the point. That makes the most sense in this situation. You had the top official, the floor official saying different things, and then the line judge didn't look extremely sure of what happened. And pretty typical in that scenario that you'll just replay the point. 12-10, USC Aiken with the serve. It comes from Allie Smith, the freshman from St. John's, Florida. Michaela Elliott pawing it to the corner. Telon with the hands first. Braves block, tempted on a try for Forrester. Back over to Akia Jones, trying to use room out back and missed that corner just barely.
Now, Elliott tried that same one on the attempted kill prior in the volley, but Akia Jones went with the same amount of force, it seemed, but the Pacers just weren't really falling for it that time. Initially, Michaela Elliott's might have gone out, but Akia Jones tried to place it in the same position. Pacers weren't going to fall for the same one twice in a row.
If you ask Ellen McGill, they want to paint those back corners of the zone. Madeline Ashwell has it dug out by Rebecca Martinez. Braves kept it away from her so far for the most part. Hicks with a dig of her own to Akia Jones. A little high and angled off the punch at Allie Smith. Not sure that would have found floor, but Smith was flailing to try to get to.
Braves are putting a lot of power behind these kills, a lot more than what I've usually seen from the games this season, and I'm enjoying it.
A team that lost in 3 sets by 14 points in the opening set at Aiken, and they hold a lead right now. Akia Jones on the overpass. Telon backs it off on the right side for Macklin. Off the Braves it goes. There's a strong swing for the lefty.
That's an automatic resubstitution of Casey Bell. That's something that she can get night and day. It's understandable for Michaela Elliott. That's not her specialty, but you bring in Casey Bell, that's something she's going to get.
That libero into the back row from Creedmoor, North Carolina, the only senior for UNC Pembroke. Receive serve with the hands. Jones funnels it over to Ashwell. Roll shot just dug out by Aiken. Again, over it goes for a roll shot of her own for Macklin, and back-to-back kills for the sophomore out of St. Charles, Illinois.
Now, it's all about spacing on that one. You saw how far away the Pacers were from making good contact on that to set up a proper kill. Madeline Ashwell and April Tankersley didn't really need to be doubled up on the blocks there.
Ashwell, the serve receive, struggles with that for the Braves. Not that time. April Tankersley a little too high. Madeline Ashwell has done all right in this last sequence on serve receive. Has the most reception errors per set on the Braves team, though.
Now it's going to be all about momentum here. USC Aiken has it in their hands, and they've retaken the lead. Can the Braves fight back?
Aiken starting to use a little run. It's a 3-0 scoring run for the Pacers. Ashwell rolling it along the near side, dug out by Narbonne. Over to the right, too long for Alicia Hines. Big side out, the Braves will bring back both Kata to the back row and Amber Tyndall into the front line.
And it's like I was mentioning just a couple of plays ago, that's a position where you want to double up the blockers on the front. And Braves did it properly, but Pacers tried to power through it. Braves ducked out when they needed to, set up the long ball, got the point. Perfect play.
A little bit of everything up front for UNC Pembroke now, a freshman, a sophomore, and a junior. Just missing that senior angling over the top, Alicia Hines. Another point to put USC Aiken just back in front. It's been exciting back and forth in the first set. UNC Pembroke hanging right with top team in the Peach Belt Conference.
Absolutely right.
A 1-point advantage for USC Aiken. Natalie Peralt to serve from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Ellie Hicks trying to get out of the way. It was called out, but that ball in clearly for the service ace.
That's just another thing about confidence. Ellie Hicks still a freshman. That's something that if you're a little more confident player, sometimes you'll just hedge your bets and go for it even if you're unsure on a close line call like that.
This is Peralt's 22nd ace of the season. USC Aiken, its second of the match. Braves trying to save it. Another point. This is where the Pacers can start to pull away.
And that's a tough one for someone like Casey Bell against Miranda Cato. Who's going to go for that one? Obviously, if you're watching from an intra perspective like we are, you want to say Casey Bell goes for that one instead of Miranda Cato. The Braves are starting to lose momentum here. You see on the service ace, they really need to fight back. They were down in a hole like this before, but this is a proper timeout, I'd like to say.
Yeah, another ace. UNC Pembroke will take a timeout. We'll keep it here in the opening set. Aces were a problem the first time around for the Braves as well when they took on USC Aiken, as they were out-aced 5-0 already for the Pacers. A couple service aces this evening. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Lumberton Chevy, and if you ever wondered why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevrolet Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name, one reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to top-of-the-line Cadillacs, so why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They're located next to Lumberton High School. Right now, Matt, when we look at some of the numbers, obviously for Pembroke defensively, they've held down USC Aiken, hitting below 100. This Pacers squad, a team that hits 224 on the year. The Braves themselves, though, it's been a few errors, and the block a big part of what they're doing.
It really has been. 4 blocks for the Braves, and offensively, they've been able to tool the blockers to just about perfection. Not a single block coming from USC Aiken. That needs to continue, though. They can't lose any sort of traction.
Service aces changing the game, though. This is the best serving team in the Peach Belt Conference, 155 aces. Peralt out of the timeout following her ace. It's a sent from Ashwell, dug out by Martinez. It's back on the near side, Forrester the try, and the Braves will pick up the net violation to get them the side out and serve back.
And it definitely seems like USC Aiken having to keep this set close. They're getting a little antsy out there, and it can lead to certain errors like a simple net violation.
Yeah, this is the game that you don't want to be the trap game if you're Glenn Cox and company. Rolling in play. No losses since early September, 20 consecutive matches for USC Aiken. April Tankersley down the pipe, able to find room. The head official overrules it to his near side line. Judge said it was wide.
That's a tough one to swallow, and obviously the Braves want to contest it, but you look at the very opening, the way the Braves services have been going while they only have one service ace, they're really just throwing a lot of confusion into the Pacers with how close these are going to the line.
Serve on the way from Kayla Duggan. Braves able to handle it. Amber Tyndall into the back right corner, causes a collision. And Ellen McGill said it, she wants those back corners to be found by her hitters. So far in this first set, they've come up with it a few times.
Just like I said in my last point, it just leads to simple confusion in that back line and some collisions like we saw there.
Casey Bell serves to Duggan. Back over to Smith, off of Tyndall. Well done by Allie Smith. Just a freshman, but already in the top 10 in the Peach Belt in kills per set.
That's something you just got to inch yourself a little bit further to the right, obvious, to avoid the tooling there. Hopefully the Braves can get it going because this lead is starting to get a little bit deeper.
4-point advantage for USC Aiken. Time for the Braves trying to find a run. Casey Bell somehow keeping it there. Kata collides with Anna Hines, and that collision keeps the Braves from setting something up. We'll see if the frustration mounts. Obviously miscommunication on that play, but that's one where you just want to come right back now and earn the side out.
Absolutely. Hopefully the Braves can just keep the communication flowing. I think that's definitely been a point of emphasis for the past few weeks from this team.
The tough serving continues by Martinez. Too long by Ellie Hicks in set one, starting to slip out of the hands of UNC Pembroke. The second timeout to be taken by Ellen McGill, and we will take a quick break as well. When we come back, the closing points of set number one. That's to your right after this. This Tuesday night action on the UNCP Sports Network.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Back in Pembroke, North Carolina, it's a 6-point lead for USC Aiken in set number one. The Braves and the Pacers. And it's a 3-0 scoring run for USC Aiken. The Braves all out of timeouts, Mr. Sabatis, and now is run time for Pembroke.
And looking simply at the numbers, the Braves could really use it. There was a point earlier in this set where the Braves had a 134 hitting percentage and USC Aiken was at a strict 0. They were even in the negatives early at one point. The Braves now in the negatives, and USC Aiken has a 71 hitting percentage.
Sign-out percentage a bit better for USC Aiken as well. They put together the couple minuscule runs in set one. Kata the back set for Amber Tyndall, dug out by Peral. Comes back for the back row attack of Duggan. Casey Bell on the back end. Michaela Elliott, the roll shot. What a dig by Martinez. Over to the right side. Peralt uses the tape. A little luck. Sometimes they say, though, better to be lucky than good.
You're absolutely right on that one, but you said it earlier, and there wasn't much time to dwell on it. That dig from Rebecca Martinez, that was a game changer right there, and that could take a little bit of the wind out of the sails, especially with 2 points away from taking this set.
Fifth in the nation in digs per set, up to 503 on the year. Blockers send it to the Braves, continued on. Michaela Elliott flicking it over to the Aiken side, over to Smith, a roll shot. Casey Bell covers. Kata gets back up, and it's headed back to USC Aiken on the free ball. Back set off the right side. And who else? Obago, a good opening set, and has set point number one for the Pacers.
Earlier in that volley, though, great decision-making from Miranda Kata to not try and go for that, giving Casey Bell the dig. There were a couple of instances of mistakes earlier in this set, but it's good to see that she's making those adjustments.
Soft serve. Tyndall just trying to get it in play for the Braves, and does. Set comes over to Smith, dug out by Bell once again. Now Hicks, an opportunity over the blockers. Martinez overpasses it. Elliott going to set it from the middle blocker. Now over to Kata. Put back down. Elliott has it deflect off her twice, and that does it for the opening set. And what a run to cap it for USC Aiken. And they scored the last 6 points of set one, looking more like the team we expected coming in.
You're absolutely right, and we brought it up pregame. The Braves needed to get going out of the gate fast. They did so. They weren't able to continue it. That's the only issue. They're going to have to try again in set two.
That's set one for USC Aiken, 25-16. We take a timeout. We'll come back with the second set after this on the UNCP Sports Network.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
When it comes to saving money,
What? Parents!
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting.
This is so humiliating.
Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap. You were saying.
And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
At feedthepig.org.
Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Pembroke, North Carolina, after a set of play, USC Aiken has jumped out to a 1-0 lead. 25-16, the first set score for the Pacers. Trevor Williams and Matt Sabatis with you for the UNCP Sports Network. Tonight our producer is Scott Banky, and the rest of our great crew with you at Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court as well. So that first set down the stretch, USC Aiken took control, but some encouraging signs for the Braves in the opening set, Matt.
It absolutely was. They had a 12-9 lead at one point. Obviously, they just weren't able to hold it on, and USC Aiken just went on a phenomenal run. If the Braves can hold on to a lead at, I'd like to say just at some point, and just continue to keep it growing. They showed the potential in set number one, prove it in set number two.
Bailey Jones will own the serve to open second set action. Jones goes straight away to the middle back over to Smith. Blocked down by the Braves, something they've done so well tonight. Now 5-1 in blocks.
You're absolutely right. That's their bread and butter this game. If they can keep it going, they're going double the entire time, and it looks like we're having an issue on the court here. What is this?
Down, appears to be down, the libero Rebecca Martinez.
It almost looked as though she wasn't injured, but she was pointing to the official as if there was an issue with the court.
Now they have...
She doesn't look like she's in pain, but the athletic trainer's out there.
Katie Yonker, the athletic trainer for UNC Pembroke, coming over, and head coach Glenn Cox standing over the top of the conversation as well. This would be a big loss for USC Aiken if there was a problem, but getting up, a little noticeable limp, but nothing too apparently serious for Rebecca Martinez. She returns to the back row. Might have gotten caught up with some of her frontline players. She was down near the net inside the attack line.
Even if it is a slight cramp, this is something the Braves can use to their advantage. She's already made some athletic digs and plays throughout this match.
Set up. Bago trying to drop it in. Casey Bell had the dig. Akia Jones under the palms of the blockers, and well done for the point.
That's how it's going to keep going, hopefully, for the Braves. They got this 2-point lead. If they can keep tooling the defenders properly and setting up the blocks themselves, they can easily walk away with a good set.
Going off with a good start, Martinez. Off the short stoppage had the dig, and then it was set up and put back down by Allie Smith.
And that was an issue we saw earlier in the first set as well, is that when they would try to triple up on the blocks in the front line, they would space themselves far too thin in the back and set themselves up for easy slams like that.
First point in set two for USC Aiken. Jones feeding Hicks, just tipped off the hands of Obago and the Braves, an important side out.
And it can go one way, it can go the other. As I mentioned with the Braves last time, Hicks saw how spread thin the front line was and elected to go a little softer with the touch, paid dividends.
Feel almost a little confidence tonight for UNC Pembroke, mixing in all these different plays out of the toolbox, the roll shots, they come in with the heavy swing at times. Obago splitting a couple backline defenders for the point. But that's going to go a long ways for the Braves if they can just have some of that mental capacity in the match to say, hey, you know what, we're a good team, we're just young, and we can build on what we've learned this year.
You're absolutely right, and they're showing confidence even though they know they're playing up against a team that's won 20 straight matches, and they're putting up some great plays right there for Michaela Elliott and others. If they can keep this rolling, they'll really show that they can be a contender in coming years.
Another very, very confident play for Elliott indeed. That is Glenn Cox you saw there, his 10th season with USC Aiken, as we said, and his side has a lot of confidence for good reason. They get the kill, and just to finish up that thought, 2 straight PBC regular season titles for the Pacers. This is now a perennial program in the Peach Belt Conference.
You're absolutely right, and that's why it would be such a good, just a moral victory in general if the Braves can take this to 5 sets, and they have the ability to. They've shown it already this match.
In was Bryn Bonner for the first time in the match, had the serve. Smith is going to bump set it up. Trying to find room over the blockers was Hines. Casey Bell had the dig. Ashwell grazed it through the block. Go over to the near side and off the defenders goes Avery Macklin.
I was going to make this point earlier and the volley ended, but it seems to me that the Pacers aren't really making too many attempts at tooling the blockers for UNC Pembroke. It seems to be that they just don't even want to give it a chance. It seems to be that they really trust the Pembroke Braves blocking front.
The last calls Alicia Hines over the net as Bailey Jones was trying to set it up, and Hines came over the tape and looked to interfere with the set, certainly. Glenn Cox off the bench not happy, and we had the miscue in officiating in set number 1. That's going to put a little doubt in both coaches' minds throughout the match. The Braves for now will take that point.
And that can always be an issue because that's something else that you have to keep in the back of your mind. Your head coach will be watching not only just the players, but the exact positioning of the ball and all of these other superlatives to say, I want to make sure that if I'm wrongly taking a point or if my opponent is wrongly given a point, that I contest it.
From our vantage point, it didn't look like the Braves set was interfered with. We're lucky to be high above the action at Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court. Little room, far side. Nice shot for USC Aiken. Allie Smith again with another good kill. It's a tough kill to come up with. Cross floor over the net, lobbed it to the line. Natalie Peralt to serve. Peralt goes straight at Casey Bell, the libero. Kata for Tankersley, the freshman, kept up mostly due to Julia Forrester. Kata will have a chance to reset it for the Braves. Ashwell over some blockers, drops it in the attack line, and that time, surprising to see the nation's 5th best player at digs per set maybe hesitate a bit going to her left.
And that's what I was mentioning when she went down with that slight injury. It can easily affect her decision making, whether she's not even thinking of it consciously.
Rebecca Martinez coming in with a digs per set mark at 6.90, 5th nationally. The set over to Forrester, dump back down, Tyndall and Tankersley.
Tyndall's matching up well with the other girls up front this match. She's had some great blocks with Tankersley. She's had some great blocks with Elliott. Hopefully we can see that trend continue.
The short serve by Hines almost got the Pacers out of system. Kata for Hicks. Rolls over one. Smith had the dig. Goes over. On the left side, Braves had a chance for another block from Tyndall and Tankersley. Continued on. Tankersley tapping the ball to Tyndall. Back over to the Pacers it goes. They continue to try to go to Julia Forrester. Braves deflecting the last kill try. Kata trying to get a set up. And the Braves are called for the ball handling error.
And you can see how well the Pacers are trying to feed Forrester. The Braves got to start using that to their advantage. If they try to start hitting Forrester dead on instead of hitting it around to give the Pacers an opportunity to set up, it can really throw them out of sync.
Braves by 1 in set number 2. Tyndall bounces it off the blockers, hits the hands of Peralt for a second. A right fist to it for Duggan. Now Casey Bell out back, touches to Tankersley with a little roll shot. Easy dig out for Martinez. Over to Smith. Around the blockers just in front of Casey Bell. And back to even.
those athletic plays, you got to set yourselves up fast, because if you don't go fast, it gives the other team an opportunity to get in there. They'll be fired up after making an athletic dig and an athletic save like that. The Braves need to move quickly on plays like that.
UNC Pembroke taking advantage of the service error, take back a slim lead. These are the opportunities for the Braves. We do apologize, our stats are in and out right now in set number 2. We're working on that. Smith, a little drop shot, tipped by the Braves, it falls. Another USC Aiken point, back to even in set number 2. Been great back and forth the early stages. Rebecca Martinez, a libero from Wellington, Florida. Serves at Casey Bell, back right, bump set by Kata for Hicks, tips a blocker, dug out by Allie Smith. Kept up on the bump set by Telon, back over to Smith, point for the Pacers. So trying to get our scorebook back up to date for you as well. USC Aiken by 1 in the second set. Trevor Williams, Matt Sabatis, UNCP Sports Network crew with you. Kata back sets the slide for Elliott, and a beautiful slide put down by the sophomore from Charlotte. Last year, 214 kills. Michaela Elliott already up to 168 this season. It continues to keep the seesaw battle going for UNC Pembroke. 9-9 in set 2, Bailey Jones. Straight back set, the runner for Obago, dug out by Bell, back up for Elliott, and in on the far side. The officials overrule it up top a second time that they have overruled the line judges. The Braves understandably not super thrilled about that.
Hey, you're absolutely right. There's no reason that they can even look at that and nod their heads in any sort of agreement. They saw the power that they put behind that shot from Michaela Elliott. They feel like they could be righteously stolen on something like that. That could have easily set up a lead for the Braves once again. They're going toe-to-toe, though, in the set. That's something to be proud of.
Braves led midway through set 1. USC Aiken had the late 6-0 run. Michaela Elliott trying again on a slide. It'll work out for the Braves. Elliott all smiles right now, starting to really get in rhythm with both of her setters, Kata and Jones.
The Braves are moving the ball laterally on the opposite side of the court very well today. It's something that we just haven't seen that much this year, and they're doing it against such a quality team in USC Aiken. It's fun to see.
The team had a late practice the night ago to get ready for this matchup. Triple block is up. Michaela Elliott led it, continued on to the Braves. Bailey Jones up for Elliott. A chance 1v1 with Obago. Braves will continue once again. Ashwell to the right of the block. Martinez, the bump set. Smith over the paws of the UNC Pembroke. Bell, the bump set for Ashwell, goes wide side and in, says the line judge. They will trust him this time.
Phenomenal series, and that just shows the strength of USC Aiken, the athletic plays they were able to make in there and save that to give themselves a chance. But the Braves still showing that they have the ability, the talent, the strength to go toe-to-toe with this team.
Ellen McGill always kind of a quiet demeanor. Glenn Cox not happy at all after the last call. He felt hesitation from the line judge.
He's a little red up there.
Right now, red in the face with his red-hot Pacers, having a little trouble with Pembroke in the second set. Over to Smith, down on the blockers. Good kill for Allie Smith, and Smith has been the favorite target. 7 kills already tonight.
It seemed to be Elliott had properly set herself up as close as she could get, because that did go off of her into the net. She has dealt with a couple of net violations already this game. We've mentioned it. That can affect her decision-making on where she's setting up for this.
The Braves right on cue, taking advantage of another service error. It's been a problem for USC Aiken. Now they're second of set 2, and it's come right after USC Aiken picks up a side out. That's a problem for them. It's not allowing them to get those runs they had in set 1. How about the help? That's the extra practice time, right?
That's exactly what it is. If you're Michaela Elliott, you're not saying that was luck. That was pure skill.
Well, we were in here joking with her earlier, saying, you know, why don't they just teach volleyball players just hit it right onto the tape and hit that shot every time? And certainly Elliott was able to dial it up for the Braves, a 2-point advantage. Now has the pass to Jones, set up for Tankersley, covered underneath by Hicks, chance to continue for the Braves. Ashwell, the light floater, dug out by Forrester. Forrester gets it right on back, a give and go if you will, and side out for the Pacers.
Now here's the decision point for the Braves, and here's going to be just the pivot overall in this set, because they had a similar lead in set number 1. It was 12-9. It was 13-11 here. Are they going to be able to continue holding this lead? Because once USC Aiken retook the lead in that first set, they never gave it back up.
That's what we talked about, that 6-0 run to finish. What will the Braves learn from set one? Madeline Ashwell finding room in that back corner, and once again, it's got to put a smile on Ellen McGill's face. They're doing exactly what she said the game plan was. Ashwell with kill number 4 of her day. Miranda Keita swapping Bailey Jones, the 6-2 setter system. Keita with the opportunity to serve. Best on the team in service aces. Already has picked up 1 tonight. It's 23 on the season. Set back to the right, roll shot. Casey Bell covering on an overpass, but put right back down by Alicia Hines. Initially, Avery Macklin tried the soft shot. Hines said no chance once it came back over the net.
That's just all about how you read play developing. Hines did an excellent job at it, saw that it was a last-ditch dig from Casey Bell, and saw the opportunity in the back line.
Middles loved that overpass. Her eyes just light up and the open floor, especially with libero out of play. Martinez turning it back for the set. Quick turnaround by Telon. Had trouble finding the floor. Braves saw it well. Telon will set it back up. Tries for Forrester. Punch to the back right corner. And a point for USC Aiken. It's that critical point now. Things back to even.
Taking away that stutter step by not by Anna Hines, by Ellie Hicks. Braves would have had a good chance of keeping that one alive and maybe setting themselves up, but just too much of that stutter for Hicks. That's all that freshman mentality.
I don't think we have seen Ashwell have trouble on the serve receive so far tonight. This ball tipped back to the Braves. Hicks trying to play with the hands. Casey Bell keeps it up, and a free ball back to USC Aiken. What effort by the senior. Over to Forrester on the blockers and down. And Aiken starting to run again. 3-0 run for the Pacers to take their first lead in recent memory in set 2.
It's all about resetting, too, for the Braves. They're not always able to get a chance with this when a lot of girls like Casey Bell and Ellie Hicks are going far out of line trying to make saves on these plays.
Volleyball Gods giving one back to Natalie Peralt and USC Aiken. Her turn to use the tape, and a timeout taken by Ellen McGill in set number 2. The Braves now trailing by 2. McGill trying to put an end to a 4-0 run. Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke's varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all of its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for our student athletes. Matt Sabatis, a great turnout tonight, homecoming week, and the students getting excited for a lot of events all week long.
Phenomenally so, great turnout. Hopefully this is something that continues, and it seems to be that these Braves on the floor are putting on a good enough show that this can pull together a quality turnout to come to future games. I think, what is it now? There's only 2 more home games following this one. Yeah, hopefully the Braves can keep chugging out these quality crowds.
Yeah, we're heading down towards the home stretch of the season. Soccer this week has 2 home matches, Wednesday and Saturday, Senior Day upcoming. Of course, football back home for Senior Day as well. Will be a big week of events. But all the attention for UNC Pembroke is on how to try to stop the 4-0 scoring run for USC Aiken.
And don't forget, basketball kicks off their season on Thursday, too.
That is probably the biggest excitement on campus right now, the buzz around both the men's and women's teams. It's loud enough to hear inside Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court, that's for sure.
Pretty big.
Ashwell has to send a free ball on back. Back set up, Obago trying to put it down. Now Ashwell on an overpass, a second try, rolls the tape. USC Aiken just keeping to it, another free ball to the Braves. This would be a big volley for them to win. Up for Tyndall, trying to come to the near side, just missed.
You can see Tyndall's decision-making on going to that position. The Braves had put a dead center on the court for a couple of different positions, and Tyndall realized they couldn't go with that same routine and went a little too far with it.
A couple chances for Ashwell for the put away, and the Braves missed their opportunity. Turned by the setter, Emily Telon, and she has done that a couple times now tonight. The senior just seeing the floor so well. The Pacer run continues at 6-0, mirroring what they did at the end of set number 1. Keita, a long run to get to it with one hand and an ace for USC Aiken. It just continues. Natalie Peralt picking up her 22nd of the year. Make it 7-0 USC Aiken on the run. The crowd trying to will the Braves serve receive back into it. Keita pops it up for Tyndall. Continued by Keita off the tip block, turned by Casey Bell. Telon goes pin to pin over to Forrester. Keita with the dig. Tankersley into a joust at the top of net, won by Alicia Hines.
And that's another bit of that confidence factor. Hines stayed straight on the tape while Tankersley backed off a little bit to avoid the net violation. Gave Hines the opportunity to just drop it into the feet.
It's looking like both sets 1 and 2 are going to be marked by runs for USC Aiken. 6-0 to finish the first. They're on an 8-0 run in the second, up by 6. Tyndall around the blockers, too long, and the run continues for USC Aiken. And Ellen McGill is going to force her hand. She has to use her second and final timeout of the set.
That's going to be, I would assume, a point of emphasis for Amber Tyndall in the upcoming practices, that she's been putting just a little bit too much mustard on these kill attempts.
We will take a timeout on the UNCP Sports Network. It's a 7-point lead for USC Aiken. Right back after this.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
Set number 2 action, USC Aiken leading by 7 points. Trevor Williams, Matt Sabatas with you on the UNCP Sports Network. Glad you can join us tonight. It's going to be a busy week on the UNCP Sports Network. We were talking about just before the break.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
Well, your time is coming, my good friend. You get the All-Army game.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Service ace for Natalie Peralt. The run just continues, and this is a dismantling run being put on by the Pacers.
You got to remember, this is a 10-0 run at this point. Braves had a 14-12 lead earlier on in this set. That's just the X factor for a majority of this season. They are not able to break up the big run.
Peralt with the dig out. Telon goes wide side, and finally an error by USC Aiken will get the Braves to serve back. And if Pembroke's going to have a shot in set 2, it's their turn to put together the run.
But in some instances, a simple error isn't always the best way to break up the run. You want to do it under your own merits. You want to build and instill the confidence in your team. Hopefully the Braves can do it on this serve.
Anna Hines serving away for UNC Pembroke. Be a good time to mount a couple points, but right on cue, Alicia Hines gets the side out back for the Pacers. Hines up to a 4th kill. Pretty well spread out attack for USC Aiken. Their leader, Allie Smith, with 7, then Avery Macklin with 5, 4 each for Emily Telon and Alicia Hines. And that's demoralizing in itself to have the setter with 4 kills. Service error by Kayla Duggan. Braves have to go on an 8-1 scoring run to extend the first set past 25 points. Anna Hines, big dig. Back to Ellie Hicks. Tries wide side. Martinez kept it up, but it falls to the floor in the middle of nowhere for USC Aiken.
It's all about that stuttering steps. And Natalie Peralt has been fairly excellent throughout most of this game. She's had some great decision-making abilities, but that time she just wasn't sure of herself.
On the receive, Duggan over to Smith from Telon. Dug out with the hands by Casey Bell. Keita puts it back over for Tyndall. Blockers pop it high. Martinez, the pump set, back row attack for Duggan. Casey Bell sees it and digs it. Keita up for Elliott. Tip back by Hines. Braves continuing on. Tyndall right side through the blockers. And an important back-to-back sequence for UNC Pembroke.
Now that's how you break up the momentum, set yourselves up. You set the 8-1 run. The Braves are starting to get the momentum in their favor. And if they can just get a few good serves in their favor, as I say,
jinxed it.
Yeah.
Now it has to be a 6-0 run. Was about to say it needed to be 5-1. Set point number 1 for USC Aiken in set 2. Chance to take it 2 sets to none lead. 20 straight match wins for the Pacers. And dropped in by Michaela Elliott. How do you guard it? She has a strong swing to the back row and then can just adjust like that.
It's like I've been saying through a majority of this match. The Braves have just been doing one heck of a job, not only tooling these defenders, but just really giving it to the front line of the blockers of USC Aiken.
First time around, the Braves, the most points they had was 16 in the 3rd set when they were facing many backups for the Pacers. They've scored now 16 and 19 in the first 2 sets. It's improvement. They want a set win, but it goes to the Pacers in the second. And USC Aiken, despite a few scares, especially in the first half of each of sets 1 and 2, they're able to get to the intermission with a 2-set lead.
That's really all it's going to come down to is can the Braves hold off against their miscues going into set number 3? It's going to be a big question. Hopefully they answer the call.
Well, maybe the good news for UNC Pembroke is they've had good starts in sets 1 and 2. They'll talk about it in the intermission. We'll take a break and come back with the intermission report after this on the UNCP Sports Network.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath.
He's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I love Toes because she's a lazy diva. Toes does whatever she wants, obviously.
In Pembroke at the intermission, it's USC Aiken receiving votes. The latest polls up 2-0 on the Braves. Columbia Guarantee Bank Court. Trevor Williams and Matt Sabatis with you. Matt, let's look at those first couple sets, couple numbers that pop out on the page. Allie Smith, 7 kills already at the start for UNC Pembroke. Team blocking pretty good, 6-3, but still hasn't quite been enough.
I think the biggest number that's standing out to me, Amber Tyndall just isn't having one of her best days, hitting a minus 188 hitting percentage. Overall, the Braves did improve as a team in set number 2. They hit 189 as compared to a minus 056 in the first set. They're improving, but they're still not breaking up the run. That's just going to be the theme of not only this upcoming third set, if they're able to take it to sets 4 and 5, and pretty much just the rest of the season.
USC Aiken was almost wire to wire the first time these two teams got together. Been 15 ties and 7 lead changes today. We'll take one more timeout. When we come back, it'll be set 3 action. We'll see what the Braves have out of the locker room after this on the UNCP Sports Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Connect with Brave Nation, the student rewards app for UNC Pembroke. Use the app to earn points by checking in at select events. Follow the action and watch the Braves live.
In the 109th minute, the Braves come up with the victory.
Don't forget to check in at events to earn points. More points equals more prizes and chances to be selected for in-game promotions. Set up notifications on your phone so you don't miss out on exclusive experiences. Share your check-ins with friends on social media and keep earning points. Download the app, attend events, and get rewarded.
In Pembroke, we head to the third set, UNC Pembroke and USC Aiken. Good fight so far for the Braves against a team that's 20-2 on the year, unbeaten since after its second match of the season. Matt, the conversation for USC Aiken is going to start on when they can be in that top 25. Their only 2 losses are to 2 ranked teams currently, 22nd and 23rd teams in the country.
And that's absolutely why they're receiving votes, but they're not cracking the top 25. We have been talking about this prior to today's matchup. They have the talent. It's just when you point out the people that they faced, yeah, they're not going to get ranked. Now, when that Peach Belt Conference tournament comes around, and if they're able to walk out victorious, which the numbers on paper suggest that they will, might be a different story.
See, the Braves have a different story in set 3. Good starts in sets 1 and 2, but they faltered late both times. USC Aiken is tooled by Michaela Elliott. Not the most conventional of tools, but she was able to get it back wide.
The Braves did catch a break on that one. They were bunching up just a little too close, expecting that one to come hurtling down, which kind of did, just a little further away than they expected.
Elliott with 5 kills ties up Akia Jones for the team lead. Tipped off the block. Who else? Allie Smith for the opening point of set 3 for USC Aiken.
She's doing one heck of a job for this team. One of the top overall, even though she only has a 167 hitting percentage, she does have the most kills on the day.
Yep, match leader with 8. Ashwell keeping it up, and Akia Jones just angling to the USC Aiken side. Comes over from Forrester. Braves attempt the block, but tooled. They're left shaking their heads on the try to deny Forrester, who we were talking about in the break, kind of having a similar night to you. Mentioned Amber Tyndall struggling, but Forrester hadn't had a lot to say after the first 2 sets.
You're absolutely right, and hopefully the Braves can target her a little more. As I had mentioned, go straight to her instead of giving her teammates the opportunity to set her up.
Madeline Ashwell splits a couple defenders. Smith keeps it back in play, Forrester a free ball over to the Braves. Hicks the dig, Jones sets instead of going to Elliott, tries for Ashwell. Ashwell adjusting, but misfiring.
It's understandable why she was trying for that one, but the decision came just a little bit too late. She wasn't able to adjust her power properly. She saw where the blockers were setting up, and she wanted to just tap it behind them. Just wasn't able to do it with proper timing.
You can see that weight falling back for Ashwell as well. This time taps it forward, and well done to get the Braves a point and serve back for Michaela Elliott.
She knew exactly what she was doing, going right into it. After seeing her mistake last time, she knew what to time and how to set herself up. Perfect play for the Braves.
Braves have had 2 service aces tonight. Michaela Elliott worked on serving, we've mentioned a couple times, a ton earlier. Another turn by the setter, Emily Telon, and maybe we should have been highlighting in the open her ability to kill the ball because Telon is already up to a 5th kill tonight.
A couple of them, though, have been just those little soft touches catching the Braves off guard. They've been hugging the edges of the court, understandably so, because sometimes they've been caught off guard, but you got to be able to play both ways.
Service error sends it right back to the Braves. Brent Bonner missing on the serve. Those turns by the setters, though, they're going to frustrate Katie Rufer, the assistant coach of the Braves, who was a setter in college at Waldorf College in Iowa. Miranda Cada, one of her young setters, to serve. The Braves trailing by 1 early stages of set 3. Telon brings over to Forrester. Oh, off of Cada. They call that a 6-pack, and Cada not happy walking away from it. Rolled off the right side of her face.
She's definitely shown a little frustration, not only in this set, but in the sets prior. There have been some collisions, some miscommunications across her and some of her other players. Ellie Hicks, or not Ellie Hicks, Anna Hines, one that comes to mind. Hopefully that things can settle and the Braves can take this set.
Service ace for Natalie Peralt and USC Aiken. It's a kind of momentum builder. Peralt's been trying to provide a 3rd, make that a 4th service ace. As Aiken has been able to use Peralt for all of its service aces tonight. Pretty unbelievable numbers for the freshman. It's tipped back over by USC Aiken. Set up for Hines. Braves turn it back with Ashwell. Dug out back by Smith. Over to Forrester it goes, off the blockers. As quickly as we mentioned, Forrester was having a slow night, a very fast start to set 3.
Well, the Braves, they brought in Tyler Fitzpatrick and Savannah Bean, and they're doing a good job out there. Fitzpatrick is doing a great job on the back line, setting up her blockers when she's not setting up for one herself.
And now the Braves let another ace go by. About ace number 6 for Natalie Peralt. The stats actually hadn't caught up on her last one. 6 aces for Peralt in a single match. She led the state in aces as a freshman when she played in high school at Economowalk High School. A little different game in the Peach Belt, but mighty impressive. Of course, she sends it back on a service error. Anna Hines will have an opportunity for UNCP. This is where the Braves need to get it going. Have not had a chance to tie up this set since it was 0-0. Casey Bell pops it right back up on her defensive half. Turns offensive for Ellie Hicks. Dig on the other side for Libero Martinez. Up for Hines. Bell again with the hands. Cada back to Fitzpatrick. Mentioned the new check-in. Dig out for Peralt. Over to Forrester. Maybe found the top of the block. Touch asked for and called. Ellen McGill and her side don't necessarily agree. Another point for the Pacers.
And this is where the dilemma comes into play, is that the Braves have had to bring in some of the girls that have had a little more rest throughout the first 2 sets, and you don't have the Michaela Elliott's and the Maddie Ashwells out on the court right now, not able to give it their all, and sometimes it can get out of hand.
A little too long for Kayla Duggan. Michaela Elliott will check back in. Casey Bell to serve. Also the Braves trying to maybe throw some players at USC Aiken that they had not seen yet today. Aiken staying with a lot of its same starters, and Smith under the hands of Elliott for the point. Tyler Fitzpatrick was up as well.
It's slowly been getting more and more in favor of USC Aiken when it comes to this front line from the Braves. They've been able to duel defenders more as this match is going on.
Aiken grinding away in set number 3, an ace, and the aces continue to pop up. Rebecca Martinez, the libero this time. We saw him stack up the first time around in South Carolina. The third set looking much more like the first meeting between these two sides.
I believe that's already 5 in this set alone.
Keita bump set for Fitzpatrick. Block back to the Braves side. Forcibly put back down. The combination of Obago and Smith. Ellen McGill needs a timeout to talk to her Braves quickly as things starting to snowball out of control in the third set. We'll keep it here at Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court in set 3. USC Aiken a 7-point lead. We remind you when UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics, led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander. Their specialists will cover every football and men's basketball game this season. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far. Conversation in the huddle, Matt. It's got to be a little bit about just confidence. The Braves have seemed a little slow coming out in set number 3, kind of sluggish out along.
Hey, you're absolutely right. And who knows? Maybe that could be contributed to the 10-minute intermission. While after the 3-minute intermission going into set 2, the Braves still had that momentum. They were still fired up. Their blood pressure and their heart rate was still running. You get a little extra time to maybe even overthink things and can get a little out of hand. Exhibit A, score on the board.
Really good first halves of sets 1 and 2. And you had the feeling the Braves were on the brink of putting it together. You wondered if the intermission was going to be what they needed. Kind of agree with what you're saying right now. If anything, it might have slowed down that train on the tracks for the Braves. Nearly a collision between libero and center for USC Aiken. They still fire it over to the Braves side. Tilon and Martinez stayed out of each other's way. Diving out Peralt, heck of a dig. Now the free ball to UNC Pembroke. Keita sets it up, puts it on a slide for Elliott, tips one. Martinez, heck of a job to keep it up. Back over to Smith, around a couple, and a tip called. Point for the Pacers.
Braves, they're starting to seem, as you mentioned, Trevor, just a little bit sluggish out there. They're not able to get the quick reaction time to make a lot of good contact on these kills, and it's really just getting out of hand.
4-0 Pacer run, nearly 5-0. Keita kept it up. Braves avoided another disastrous service. Ace, Elliott, and Hicks were up for the block.
That's how you turn a set around. The Braves need to capitalize on this change of possession in the serves and really put the pedal to the metal.
First of all, the hustle play by the freshman Keita just to avoid the service ace, and then Elliott and Hicks repay it with the block. UNC Pembroke's 7th block, out blocking USC Aiken 7-4. Hines able to funnel it back front, and how about Michaela Elliott? That's just athleticism and a good vision to get the point.
That's what I was going to say. Just proper heads-up play. Way to just see what you had to work with there and know your abilities to make the play happen.
Peralt on the receive. Tilon over for Smith. Touched the Braves and got through. Anna Hines out back.
That's the 3rd touch that the Braves have been called against throughout this set. You take some of those away, that's just been the biggest issue. This could be a big difference in swing in their favor. It'd be 11-10 if you take away those 3 touches.
Instead, it's USC Aiken by a touchdown in the 3rd set. Set up by Bailey Jones, and she's called for a ball handling error, double contact. Absolutely the errors you can't have down the stretch when you're trying to fight back.
That's one of those things that could be attributed to just exhaustion and overthinking a lot of things, that sometimes it just gets out of your hand, the fundamentals.
Spell the receive. Bailey Jones bumps up for Akia Jones. Fires too high, trying to find room over the blockers. He's Akia crouched down after her shot. Ellen McGill and nervously standing at the end of her bench, realizing it's slipping away for her side. Service error from Emily Tilon. Chance for the Braves to bring it on back. On the road this year, interestingly enough for USC Aiken, just their 5th time away from home on a true road match. You add in 3 neutral site contests, but 15-0 at home, 3-1 on the road, 2-1 neutral sites. Very good in 3 sets as well, 12-1 this year with 12 sweeps. Ashwell tips a blocker, just a right-handed smack by Tilon to keep it with her side. Continued on by the Pacers. Over outright to Macklin. Touch the Braves. Bringing it cross floor, Ashwell. Tilon back to Macklin. Blocked back by the Braves. Ashwell and Elliott were in the area.
That's one of those things, as I've been mentioning, where exhaustion can come into play. You can just tell the confidence that's exuding from this team, that they're pushing that out of their mind and showing these Pacers that they have the ability to win in one of these sets.
Back-to-back blocks, Shakia Jones and Michaela Elliott. And with the young front line, it's got to be a point of excitement for the Braves that this block is building up so well. Top 4 in the conference in blocks per set this season. Trying to use that blocking to get right back into set number 3. Elliott tips it up on the tape, caught by Macklin. Out of the back row, Duggan, easy dig for Bell. Set up for Elliott, tries to put it down and will be called for a lift.
You can see the cupped hand as she went with it, and that's one of the casualties of the power that Michaela Elliott puts behind it, is that sometimes when you're focusing on the power, your body's natural muscle memory just goes to the cup.
And her float. I wonder if John Haskins wishes she played some basketball into the back right corner with a kill. She can certainly get up.
I was gonna say the seasons don't intersect that much. I see no reason why she wouldn't be able to.
You'll see it rarely from time to time, but that's what it looks like. When she gets caught for a lift, it looks like a basketball player going up for a dunk. They palm that volleyball easily. The dig, what an effort by Elliott to keep it up for Akia Jones. Use the tape and a dig on the other side for Martinez. Back over to Forrester. Braves tip it on back. Continued on by the Pacers. Macklin uses the blockers, the tool for the point.
One of the things, though, the Braves have still been getting, you mentioned it earlier, the blocks per set. 3 times, or nearly 3 times as many blocks the Braves have put on the board as compared to USC Aiken. And while the scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect it, it's something that they should be proud of in this match.
It'll be interesting to talk to Ellen McGill after the match to see what she thinks about her team's performance. Kind of putting it together at times, but looking down the stretch like USC Aiken is on its way to a sweep. Avery Macklin, another point on the light touch.
And that's something that's just a good read. Savannah Bean has been just a little quick to the jump when it comes to setting up for her blocks, and USC Aiken use that to their advantage.
Nearly another ace. Yes, it is another ace for USC Aiken. They checked in Bryn Bonner to serve. Bonner's first ace of the night. Just the second player not named Natalie Peralt to serve up an ace. Braves will take their second timeout of set number 3. And we remind you that tonight's broadcast has been brought to you in part by the Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation. They belong to the members they serve. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions made are in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. The 4 values, the foundation of LREMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. Those values represent the cooperative difference in how their co-op earns the trust of members every day. 20-11, USC Aiken looking to be en route to a 13th sweep of the season. They better their opponent in every statistical category this year. They came in the best serving team in the Peach Belt Conference, and as advertised, Matt, they have delivered on that tonight.
How much more you can say to that fact? As a matter of fact, we brought it up in pregame. It's a David versus Goliath situation for the Braves, and in the sports storylines when it comes to these situations, not always does David come out on top.
Rarely, often, unfortunately. As fun as it is to watch.
Yeah.
The USC Aiken fans with us tonight will not mind a 9-point lead in the 3rd set. Bryn Bonner to Ellie Hicks kept it up. It was a second go out of the timeout. Bonner was a little early out of the gates on her first serve. Put back down by Alicia Hines. Roswell, Georgia has had a good night as Hines, 5 kills.
It seems like she's been one of the only Pacers on the floor too that's not only known how to tool the defenders very well, but just split the defenders in general. She's really good at placing that ball.
Angles around that block nicely, as you mentioned. Tip back to the Braves. They'll continue on. Bump set from Casey Bell for Madeline Ashwell. And Ashwell, her turn for a tool.
She hasn't been getting as much opportunities, it seems, this match Ashwell has. She's been getting some good handles on it, but hasn't really shined a lot and not gotten a lot of the chances where she can tool the defender. A lot of the times the defenders just aren't even there to put it away. Usually it just heads into a dig.
You can start to put the run counter on for the Braves. They will need 12 of the next 15 points if they are to extend set number 3. Into the back corner, Ellie Hicks a dive to get to it, but no dice for the freshman.
There's another good read from the Pacers. Casey Bell had to step up and make that play and left that back corner exposed. Not something that Ellie Hicks has the distance to cover.
Avery Macklin came in the 3rd best hitting percentage in the Peach Belt Conference. Is up to .250 tonight Allie Smith at 292. They both hit above 300 on the year, but the Braves have held it at bay for the most part. A correction on that, actually. Smith hit 181 on the season. It was Alicia Hines who was the other over 300. Officials sorting it out for the serve. The 10-point Pacer lead in the third set. Kata, back set for Ashwell. Tip back to the Braves. Bump set for Fitzpatrick from Casey Bell. Dug out with the hands by a new check-in, Lauren Howard. A light touch over by Kelsey Sperlin. We're seeing the subs in for USC Aiken late in set 3. Try a little too wide, the Braves claim the point.
Fitzpatrick, while she's not as powerful as some of the girls in the front line, as we've seen from the Michaela Elliott's and the Madeline Ashwells, she seems to use that to her advantage, and she really focuses on where she's placing that ball with the softer touches, and it works out well, Exhibit A.
Braves still the big hill to climb, back by 9. Alicia Hines having a great third set, continuing to move the hit percentage up. Now above 200 on his 6th kill. Kayla Duggan checking into serve.
As a team, too, the Pacers, 323 hitting percentage in this single set. It shows why they have a 10-point lead.
They hit above 450 at one point in the first meeting between these two teams in a second set win. They have a chance to go straight sets both times against UNC Pembroke. The try for Ellie Hicks wide, and it is match point for USC Aiken. Braves would need 11 unanswered.
It's just a hard pill in situations like this. When you have 3-point leads midway through sets in 1 and 2, and while things like that can be comforting, you gotta assume that the Braves can take a loss like this, build on it, and take it into the next game.
They have a chance moving forward. Early this week, they'll play again on Friday. Over to the right side, Forrester. Chance to tool the Braves, but no, they say it's in on the far side. Okay, it was a block for UNC Pembroke to add to it.
Quite surprising from this angle. Didn't seem to be in, but the official says what the official says. I'm not usually one to doubt it.
I was getting ready to pack it up. Braves will keep it going, 24-15. Try this time for a block, but the final kill belongs to Kelsey Sperlin, the redshirt freshman out of Gaffney. Her only kill is the match-winning kill for USC Aiken in their most convincing set win, 25-15 in set 3.
That's the tough issue in today's matchup, is that, as we said, this is the #1 team in the Beach Belt Conference, making now 21 sets, or making now 21 matches undefeated for this squad. And I'll say it again, Braves need to take this one and take it into next week, see what they can do.
Some nice fight from UNC Pembroke, but USC Aiken stays undefeated since its first 2 matches, 21-2 on the year, 7-0 in the Peach Belt. The Braves to 4-21 and 0-9. We'll take one timeout. We'll come back with a couple quick post-match stats, and we'll be on our way. That's to you right after this on the UNCP Sports Network. Final tonight in Pembroke, 3-0. USC Aiken takes it over UNC Pembroke, and so the Braves, they do fall in this early week match. Matt Sabanis, we took a look at the entire stats, and when you looked at it, hitting percentage was very good in the final set for USC Aiken. It seemed like they got the message out of the intermission and what they need to do to put it away.
You're absolutely right, and the Braves tried their best in that third set. They tried to make some adjustments after seeing the numbers that girls like April Tankersley and Ember Tyndall had brought to the table, and kept them out of that third set, but clearly USC Aiken just wasn't taking anything from that. They were a quality team. They brought their A game. They didn't really make too many mistakes. They did have a couple of errors overall, but the Braves obviously led in that category. USC Aiken did have more service errors, and the Braves were able to feast off of that. But they also did have more service aces, 8-2 in both categories, both favoring USC Aiken. So you're going to take one, you got to be able to work against the other, and unfortunately the Braves just weren't able to do so tonight.
Your last couple superlatives tonight, Allie Smith led everybody with 11 kills on the Pacer side. Avery Macklin had 8, and Julia Forrester with 7. UNC Pembroke, their top three, Michaela Elliott with 7 kills and 5 each for Akia Jones and Madeline Ashwell. A bright spot was the blocking, 10-4 for the Braves. Much better blocking showing than the first time around, but those service aces, as you mentioned, 8-2 in favor of USC Aiken with a huge flurry of them in the third set, marking a major difference tonight. In total, we had 15 ties and 7 lead changes throughout the match, and the Braves just unable to get through the early portions of sets 1 and 2. That will do it tonight from Lumby Guarantee Bank Court. For Matt Sabatis, our producer, Scott Benke as well, this is Trevor Williams wishing you a pleasant evening from Pembroke, where USC Aiken takes it tonight 3-0 straight sets on the UNCP Sports Network.